Welcome back to the Tool Crib. Today we're going to take a little closer look at Mr. Lin's Plierless Sidekick against a tool from the Victorinox lineup that really it pairs up well with, and this is going to be the Victorinox Tinker. Now, I'm a big fan of Victorinox knives, and one of the comments, or a lot of the comments when talking about these more minimalist multi-tools is, well, they're already made. Victorinox makes them. And I'm a big fan of Victorinox knives. I don't want anybody to get me wrong here. I like a large variety of Victorinox knives, and I think they're excellent. Inherently, there's two issues with the Victorinox, though. If you are trying to use tooling in here that, such as screwdrivers, while they have a really good lockup on the Victorinox knives for their slip joint, they're not locking. That's something that I would like to see in a purpose-built minimalist tool if Leatherman were to attack something like that. The second thing is, and probably the most important for me, is the fact that they don't come with pocket clips. I think Victorinox would do well if they were to re-engineer a couple of their maybe especially in the ALOX versions, if they were to put clips on those, oh my goodness, would they sell a whole bunch more, because Victorinox knives in and of themselves are very, very good knives for just your regular EDC carry. Now, they don't have the best of blade steels, but it's pretty decent. So they're a nice EDC carry. And I just don't want anybody to think that I'm knocking on Victorinox, because I'm not. Leatherman and Victorinox are my absolute two favorite brands when it comes to talking about multi-knives and multi-tools. So here's how this creation from Kampfer Lin just matches up against here. So first of all, what I like about his sidekick, or his Plierless Sidekick, is the fact that the blade is locking on this. That's a big deal to me. Now, I know with people that have to deal with more stringent knife laws, this can be an issue. Here in the States, it's not something we have to contend with. So the fact that that blade locks up is a big, big plus for me. And then let me close these down. And let's just take a couple. The one tool that he's going to have extra on here, that you're going to have extra on a Victorinox Tinker, is going to be the secondary pen blade here. That's something that you don't get with the Plierless Sidekick creation that Mr. Lin has come up with. The next two tools are the pretty well standard tools from Victorinox. You have your can opener with additional screwdriver, and you have your bottle cap lifter with additional screwdriver, and then they also have a little wire stripper there as well. Now, the wire stripper functionality on this tool is going to be above and beyond what the one on this tool is. So, while this is also, Leatherman makes a little better version of these in their wave charge. Well, most of their line has a better combination tool than the one they find on the Sidekick, Wingman, and Rev. But nonetheless, it's a pretty decent wire stripper that you have in there that you're able to really do a pretty good job on stripping insulation off wire. So for his drivers, and we'll pull the one out here for the Phillips, that's one key area where the Tinker might have a bit of an advantage, because it has a full 3D Phillips as opposed to the more flattened version of the Phillips driver that you get on the Wingman and Sidekick. This one also has the flat driver, which both of these flat drivers are going to kind of double as light-duty pry tools as well. The benefit that the Victorinox Tinker is going to have over it is it's going to lock in the 90 position, where in this one will not. These will only lock out in the fully open position. So I like how snappy this is, though. He really made this really, really good. It just locks in there very, very nicely. Now, if we fold this back over, and then again, all the tools on the Sidekick are going to be a slip lock, because inherently that's just the way the Sidekick is made. Now, let me get the next two tools out here, and we'll just go ahead and fold these down. One thing that I like that Mr. Lin did is that he reprofiled the serrated blade that comes with the Sidekick, and he made it into a very, very sharp awl. So first of all, let me show you that screwdriver there. The benefit, obviously, to this one is it's going to have that three-dimensional feel to it, and you can use it as a T-handle, though while you can get more torque on it this way, I really probably would prefer be in line like they do some of their other styles. So then you have the awl, which when you're comparing these two awls, there is no question about it that the one on the Plierless Sidekick definitely, well, at least to me, it's way better. First of all, it has better piercing, just overall length, a better control. I like the fact that it's in line as opposed to the T-shape. Now, one tool that this one, the Plierless Sidekick, is going to have over the Tinker is the fact that, first of all, it has a little depth gauge. Now, I've known a lot of people have told me that they actually get a lot of use out of that. That's probably not a tool that I would get a lot of use out of. They call it a ruler. When you've got a ruler that only measures an inch, I think you better call it something else. And I refer to it more as a depth gauge. This would be a great gauge for like measuring the depth of tread on tires and stuff like that. So it does have some uses, though it's not a tool that I would get a lot of use out of myself. And then it incorporates the smaller driver on this tool. And this one's going to come with a file. That's something that the Tinker is not going to have. Now, because the Tinker comes from the Victorinox lineup, and let me just fold this back down properly. So the one drawback to this tool is because of its overall length, you have to fold in these tools first and then set the drivers that will fold down on top of them. But when it's all said and done, boy, it's a really clean look with this tool that he created. So because the Victorinox knives, they come with scales, you're going to get the scale tools for this one. Now, these won't be your plus versions, but you do have the ability to put a straight pin in the Tinker as well underneath the driver here. So it'll come with your toothpick. You also get a little key ring there if you so choose to use it on keys, and then you get a little pair of tweezers. That would be nice if Leatherman attacked something like this, that they would find the ability or a way to put in a very nice set of tweezers in a more minimalist tool like this as well. So when it comes to these two tools, they match up really closely. A lot of people are going to prefer still the Victorinox knife. Some people might prefer, including myself. And I tell you what really is the selling point, the two selling points actually, probably the knife blade and the ability to wear it with the pocket clip, to be able to clip it onto my jeans. I think that is a much better option, and it's really the two selling points for me. But then a lot of people are going to lean back towards Victorinox, maybe because of the plus scale tools, or because of the scale tools, not plus scale, but just scale tools. Maybe they just like the slip lock version of all of this. I personally like the locking blade, and I personally like the pocket clip. But as far as functionality, these two tools actually match up really well against one another. And Mr. Lin's creation is really just a baseline for what Leatherman can actually do. If you got modders out there that are putting all kinds of cool things on multi-tools, and if they can do it in the modding community, imagine what they could do if it was engineered into the tool that way. And if Leatherman pursued something like this, boy, they could make a really nice minimalist multi-tool. Well, at any rate, my name is Ben. You've been watching the Texas Tool Crib. And by the way, shout out to Mr. Lin for his awesome creation of the Plierless Sidekick. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next one.